stand for the pledge of allegiance. Mr. Soto, would you lead us in the pledge of allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'm sorry, call to order? Item number 1, call to order. The number 3, right, establishment of quorum. Mr. Guillermo Madrid?
Here.
Ms. Mary Garcia?
Here.
Ms. Gloria Rodriguez?
Here.
And Mr. Jesus Ganda?
Here.
We have a quorum with 4 members present.
Consent agenda number 4. And there is one. Do I hear a motion to approve the consent agenda? Oh. One moment. On number 11, can I please have somebody do a motion to remove this one for future? Yes,
We need to get a consensus.
yes,
Motion to remove number 11? Are we going to do it or we're going to move it? Future first. Okay. I'd make a motion to remove number 11 from the consent agenda and place it into the regular agenda for future reading.
Second.
Are we taking action on the consent agenda?
I was wondering, with approval, I'm sorry, approve consent agenda with the exception of number 11, moving that one out of consent agenda for future reading.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion made by Ms. Garcia to approve the consent agenda and with the removal of item number 11 to be placed on a regular future agenda. And second by Mr. Madrid. Mr. Gandara? Mr. Madrid?
Yes.
And Ms. Garcia?
Yes.
Motion is carried.
I make a motion to delete item number 11.
Your second, please?
Second.
I have a motion made by Mr. Gandara to delete item number 11, second of Ms. Garcia. Mr. Madrid?
Yes.
Ms. Garcia?
Yes.
And Mr. Gandara?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Item number 11 is deleted.
Motion to delete item number 15.
Second.
I have a motion made by Mr. Gandara to delete item number 15, second of Ms. Garcia. Mr. Madrid?
Yes.
Ms. Garcia?
Yes.
And Mr. Gandara?
Yes.
Motion is carried.
Okay, number 16, reconsideration of introduction, first reading and calling for a public hearing of ordinance 306, amendment number 1, an ordinance of the City of Socorro, Texas, adopting an amended budget reappropriating funds from general fund health line item and grant expense items to various departmental line items.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion made by Mr. Gandara, second of Ms. Garcia to approve item number 16. Mr.
Actually, my motion is to reconsider.
Oh, I'm sorry, to reconsider
To reconsider the item.
the item. Second of Ms. Garcia. Mr. Madrid?
And that's just to reconsider the item, huh?
Yes, and then we'll take up the action.
Okay.
Ms. Garcia?
Yes.
And Mr. Gandara?
Yes.
Motion is carried.
And then, Mr. Norfleet, I imagine this is now combining the two different
That's correct.
budget items.
That's correct.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion to approve made by Mr. Gandara, second of Ms. Garcia. Mr. Madrid?
Yes.
Ms. Garcia?
Yes.
And Mr. Gandara?
Yes.
Motion is carried.
Number 17, introduction, first reading, and calling for a public hearing of ordinance 314, an ordinance providing for a system of records retention, retrieval, destruction, and repealing ordinance 121.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion to approve the introduction of the first reading and calling for a public hearing made by Mr. Gándara, second of Ms. Garcia. Mr. Madrid?
Yes.
Ms. Garcia?
Yes.
And Mr. Gándara.
Yes.
Motion is carried.
Number 18, introduction, first reading, and calling for a public hearing on ordinance 215, an ordinance and repealing ordinance 212, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Socorro, Texas, proposing amendment to the city charter calling an election on said issue, providing for public notice and an effective date, and other matters germane thereto.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion by Ms. Garcia to approve the introduction, first reading, and calling for a public hearing, second of Mr. Gándara. Mr. Madrid? Ms. Garcia?
Yes.
And Mr. Gándara.
Yes.
Motion is carried.
Number 19, discussion and action on amendment and modification of contract regarding right-of-way appraisal for Old Mr. Wallace?
Yes, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, the issue there is the contracts for appraisal for both the appraiser and for the review appraiser. The appraiser, the roadway, once we looked at the surveys, was not in the same place as the roadway was originally shown on the plats that we received. It's required some additional work by the appraiser. Some of the roads are not in the correct location. Actually, some of the roads are not even on the land that the community college's road going in from the old Waco Counci area is not even on the land that they own. So that's required a lot of activities with respect to the appraiser. There's also some issues that didn't initially show up with respect to the location of some water retention facilities that's required some additional work regarding possible damages to those properties and a number of other things. The request there is to ask for an increase of the appraiser fee for the entire appraisal of the entire roadway to $30,000, which is still a reasonable amount of money. The second thing is to request that you approve Martha Gale Reed as the review appraiser. That's not the original review appraiser. I don't remember whether the review appraiser retired or quit, or anyway, they refused to do the job. And TxDOT has recommended this lady. She's on their approved list. And her fee would be $1,050 per appraisal. And then the arrangement that she makes is that there is a potential $250 fee should additional services be required for a re-review. Normally that is a situation where between the original appraisal and the review appraisal that there's been additional construction or something like that. Since this is raw land, we don't expect that circumstance, but that's the arrangement that we've worked out, whether it's comparable to other arrangements that she's worked with TxDOT. And what we have proposed, and you have the form there, is a motion to approve the increase of the appraisal fee, total appraisal fee to $30,000 and to establish the review appraisal fee of $1,050 per appraisal.
Mr. Wallace?
Yes, sir.
Is that burden on us or TxDOT on us or what?
Well, the burden is on the city initially. We hope that, however, the city's expenditure in connection with this goes against the city's share of construction and overall cost of the roadway. So you get the benefit of it. Well, the city's going to have to pay for it, but later on when we get into the building of the roadway, the city gets all of these expenses back as a portion of its cost contribution toward the roadway. And what we're stuck with, as we've explained before, until we can get that right-of-way acquired, we can't seize that help from TxDOT. So that's the reason we keep pushing the right-of-way issue, because if we can get that right-of-way seized, then we can blow the bugle and call in the troops from TxDOT to come in and give us some help to build the roadway. As it stands right now, other than what they've given us, we can't get any more help out of them until we get our hands on that right of way.
I move that the council approve amendment of the appraiser's fee for our Old Claypool Road extension appraisals as recommended, to authorize a fee of $30,000, and further to approve Martha Gill Reed as a review appraiser and confirm her fee of $1,050 for appraisal with a maximum charge of $250 should there be any additional services resulting from corrections requiring a re-review resulting from changed conditions.
Second.
I have a motion made by Mr. Gondara to approve the amendments and modifications of contract, second of Ms. Garcia. Mr. Madrid?
Yes.
Ms. Garcia?
Yes.
And Mr. Gondara?
Yes.
Motion is carried.
At this time, we need to go into executive. Do you have anything for executive, Mr. Wallace?
Yes, ma'am, I have a briefing for you.
Okay, please go into executive right now.
Motion to go into executive effective immediately.
Second.
I have a motion made by Mr. Gondara to go into executive, second of Ms. Garcia. Mr. Madrid? Ms. Garcia?
Yes.
And Mr. Gondara?
Yes.
Motion is carried.
He is here in April, and he knows it. He says, "Talk to me." So I think that's something to be taken notice of that. I'm hearing, he's missed more than 3 meetings, I know that.
Oh, Mrs. Grace, hello. I guess missing this 3 meetings. Is Mrs. Grace me? She's getting her paycheck without earning it.
Can't lie comments like that.
Yes,
Okay.
we'll call you.
That's great.
Ready for you.
Do I stop this?
Yes, stop there.